Hello. Today we have a very exciting video. We're going to show you how to use your embassy to run your very own end-to-end encrypted Matrix chat server over Tor. Matrix on Embassy is arguably the most private and independent form of digital communication that has ever been available to a non-technical person. Before we get started, let's quickly identify a couple of important concepts. First, protocol. A protocol is a set of rules and standards that enable computers to communicate and understand each other. An implementation. An implementation is any piece of software that adheres to a protocol. Server. A server is a physical or virtual computer where the implementation software is run. And finally, a client. A client is the mobile, desktop, or web application that a person uses to interact with their server. In our case, Matrix is the protocol, Synapse is the implementation of the Matrix protocol, Embassy is the server that runs Synapse, and Element is the client we will use to talk to the Synapse implementation of the Matrix protocol running on our Embassy server. If that went over your head, don't worry. Actually doing it is much easier than talking about it. So let's get started. In your Embassy, go to the marketplace and install Synapse if you've not already. Keep in mind that we speed up our videos for the sake of time. Synapse is a fairly heavy service and will have longer than average install times. After install, as usual, we are asked to configure. So we'll click Configure, and we have a few options. Enable registration allows anyone with your Synapse Tor address to create an account on your Embassy. This must be enabled for you to register your own personal account, and you might want to allow family members or close friends to create accounts. But after those registrations are complete, we highly advise that you disable registrations. If you do not, anybody will be able to create an account, or thousands of accounts, on your Embassy, which would cause serious problems. Next we see email notifications, which can obviously be used to receive notifications to your email. This is most useful if you want the ability to reset your password via email or receive daily digests of your Matrix activity. For now, we'll leave everything in the default state and click Save. Click Start to fire up your Synapse server. You'll see here the warning about disabling user registration that we went over earlier. Keep in mind, the Embassy is designed to be a personal device. It is not meant to serve large numbers of users. Normally, this is the part of the video where we take a look at the instructions. But in the case of Synapse, the instructions appear on your Synapse Tor address, which you can visit from any Tor-enabled browser. So let's do that, and then we'll go through the instructions together, step by step. As stated in the beginning, a client is a mobile, desktop, or web application that a person uses to interact with their server. In our case, we're going to use the Element app to communicate with our Synapse server. Element is available for many platforms, including macOS, Linux, Windows, Android, and through a web browser. The only platform that is not currently supported is iOS. Each platform has a slightly different setup process, so be sure to follow the directions for your system. In this tutorial, we will use Windows, but most of the clients will operate the same. First, we must have Windows running Tor in the background, the instructions for which are in the video description below. Next, we'll download the Element client application from the element.io website. After downloading, we'll run through the install process. After install, we need to tell Element to run across Tor. Back in the instructions page, you'll find the proxy server SOCKS5 address. Copy this. Right-click on the Element shortcut, or the app, click Properties, and in the Shortcut tab, at the end of the line in the target location, hit a space and paste in the proxy server address. And make sure the Start In field is empty. It is possible that a system update will overwrite this shortcut, so if you have an issue following an update, check here to make sure the target is correct and that Start In is blank. Okay, let's launch Element. Select Create Account if this is your first install, and obviously you would choose Sign In after you already have an account. Beneath Host Account On, change matrix.org to your own Synapse Tor address. Make sure that http:// is at the beginning of this. Your address will be different than the one that's shown here. These are pulled from the instructions, but those instructions are all unique to each Embassy. Next, complete the account creation, and then we're all done. Let's go into the Synapse service page, then disable registration for security purposes as we outlined in part 1. Save and wait for the service to restart. The Matrix protocol uses advanced cryptography to ensure that you are, in fact, communicating with the people that you think you are, and not imposters. To make this as simple as possible, Matrix offers something called cross-signing, which allows you to verify yourself across multiple devices. For example, let's say you are logged into Element on both your Windows machine and your Android device. Cross-signing will allow your Windows machine to verify your Android device. The alternative is that every user would need to verify every device of everyone they interact with, which is simply annoying. Cross-signing should be enabled by default, but sometimes this isn't the case. To ensure cross-signing is enabled, go to Settings, Security and Privacy, then Cross-signing. If you see the green check mark already, then you're good to go. Otherwise, click Setup to enable the feature. Now comes the fun part, actually joining a room and chatting. By far, the coolest place on Matrix is the Start 9 Tor party room. Always a good time. The link for this channel will be in the description, and you can easily find our other channels from here. Simply click Explore Rooms next to the search bar and paste in the room address. Then click Join, or just hit Enter. As everything is running over Tor, you may occasionally get an error or a timeout as seen here. You can just click through and try again. This will be improved with future updates. And there it is. Welcome to the Tor party. Matrix uses end-to-end encryption, meaning all encryption and decryption is performed locally on your phone or computer using keys stored on the device. To further complicate things, these keys are frequently changed to ensure maximum security. And to even further complicate things, when you log out of Element, these keys are purged from memory, meaning if you log out of all your Element client apps, you will lose your keys and be unable to decrypt your own message history. Additionally, your entire encrypted message history is stored on your personal Synapse server, which is running on your physical embassy device. So there are 2 separate types of backups that are needed. 1, the encryption keys on your device, and 2, the message history on your embassy. There are 2 methods of backing up encryption keys, manual and automatic. We do not recommend manual, so we will only cover automatic in this video. If you really want to do manual, please refer to the written instructions. Automatic key backup will automatically store encrypted backups of your keys on your embassy whenever they are rotated. In your Element app, go to Settings, Security and Privacy, Encryption, Secure Backup, and then Setup. You'll be prompted to select either Generate a Security Key or Enter a Security Phrase. This is a misleading choice. Either way, Element will generate a security key. If you generate a security key, which is recommended, Element will display the security key for you to store on your own. If you select Enter a Security Phrase, Element will encrypt the security key with your security phrase, then store it on your embassy. In the former case, you will need to keep and protect a private key. In the latter case, you will need to keep and protect a chosen passphrase. Either way, you need to store something. The reason it is recommended to select Generate a Security Key is because if someone gets access to your Synapse server, it is far more likely that they will guess your chosen passphrase than be able to brute force a private key. Regardless of which option you choose, you must store the value somewhere safe. Do not lose it. It is recommended to store in your self-hosted Bitwarden. As mentioned before, your encrypted messages are stored on your physical embassy device. Therefore, it's critical to create frequent backups of Synapse on your embassy. Great. Now we're chatting over Tor using an open, end-to-end encrypted protocol that we host ourselves. Permissionless, censorship-resistant, secure, and private communications. The future is bright.